Family, Willie Moore Jr. here. Listen, before we get to this episode, I want to encourage you to join one of the most amazing communities in the world. You know, I've been telling you that it is important for you to love you more, but I thought it would be really, really good if I could help you more, right? So I want you to log on to helpyoumore.com so you can learn to love yourself in the area of finances, love and relationship. And of course, an amazing relationship with God is always necessary. Of course, that's our foundation. And so I want you to join this community. Go now, go really, really quick. There's only a limited amount of seats that we have for people to join this online community. So make sure you go now, helpyoumore.com.
Next on the Love You More Show.
What part of him made you say, hey man, this may be the guy that I spend the rest of my life with?
Well, early on, David started protecting me, even as, because, you know, we started singing together. But it's like whenever the guys would make jokes with me, he would always be like, hey, y'all, she's still a woman. We go through our motions of taking care of life and taking care of so many people. And David was just so concerned, especially after coming out of COVID. That's really when it all went down. He was trying to figure out things for all of my kids, his brothers, all the people that work for us. It's like, he fixed it where nobody ever, he paid them through the whole pandemic.
Wow.
That's why I left home at 16, because my stepfather he was abusive with his words. I mean, and it's like, it was killing me on my insides. So, and to hear that my mom had to just stand there and just take this, yeah, I was ready to fight.
We have the same phone code.
Yeah.
Now I know guys are like, no.
I can do that now. I'm cool.
I don't have.
You can do that
you
now?
wouldn't do it before?
No. Definitely wouldn't do that. Hey family, Willie Moore Jr. here. Excited about this edition of the Love You More Show because listen, we running it back. We running it back. Before I tell you how we're running it back, I want to encourage you to go ahead and click that little subscribe button, click that little notification bell so you can be notified whenever we have a new episode. Shout out to everybody across this great nation who is like literally logged in. You have subscribed in a very short time. Drum roll, please. Over 188,000 people have subscribed so far, and we continue to grow every single week, okay? So I thank you for that. Family, today, as I told you, we running it back. Now, I got a chance to sit down with this amazing gentleman some months ago, and I tell you what, it really healed and helped me so much. Now, he was talking about his wife, and I was like, well, maybe one day, come on, God, maybe we'll get a chance to sit down with them both. And today is that day. Today, we get the opportunity to hang out with some people, y'all call them Cora and Mr. Brown. Some of y'all call them Stella and Dove award-winning artists. For others, you get an opportunity to call them relationship goals. Hanging out with me is David and Tamala Mann. What's going on?
Though?
Hello.
Man,
Thanks for having me back.
Yes.
Come on.
I've been here, you know, I've been here.
Oh,
you know,
so that's
I've
how
been
you
here.
gonna start
I've been
this.
here.
Yeah, that's what he did. He came by himself. You see my point?
No, don't you even do that.
He came in hard, didn't he?
No, let me tell you. Well, he didn't call you. He called me. So if he want to try to
I
throw
don't call
me
nobody wife. I'm gonna let y'all know I don't be sniffing around nobody's house when they man ain't there. So I called her husband like my daddy told me to do that. That's what my daddy say. You don't sniff around no man's house when this woman.
That just sounds eerie when you talk about sniffing around.
Yeah.
That sounds
92.
eerie.
No, that sounds nasty.
He might have been. Yeah, my daddy, you know, he'd been around the block a few times.
I heard you talking about your dad.
Yeah.
No, but listen, let's talk about it, Dave and Tamala. Before we get to this amazing interview, congratulations on like all of these years of marriage.
Thank you.
How long have y'all been married now?
36 years.
And y'all said it in unison like choir rehearsal.
36.
I'm so
36.
Well, it is. It's been, you know what? We woke up that morning and we were laying in the bed and I said, babe, I thank you. I've laughed more than cried with you. Thank you for these years and I appreciate what you do and I love you for what you do and how you've been a wonderful friend and husband. So I'm just really, really proud to have him on my side.
Man, that's so good. Listen,
I feel good now.
listen, I know you do. I know I'm supposed to do this icebreaker, but I feel Holy Spirit like he's just moving me in this direction. So I promise we're gonna get to music, guys. But I do have to ask you this, Dave. Like, when you hear her say that, because it comes from such a genuine place, like, what does that do for you?
Oh, it just gets me it just makes me want to do even better. Because what she's talking about, every year we do this marriage evaluation. It's like, you know, we'll take our car and
survey
get it,
each other.
Yeah, we'll take our car and get it serviced every year, every time the check engine light come on, but we don't do the same for our marriage. And so what we do is every year during our anniversary, we do a service of our marriage. So we just talk about the marriage vows. Have I been? Have I been? Have I been?
Have I fixed the things that I need to fix?
Yeah, I hate when she tells me no. I haven't fixed
What has she said no on that you ain't did? Joe,
I was telling somebody yesterday, I know one thing that I had to work on because I'm a comedian, and so I can give some very sarcastic answers.
Yeah.
And I can give some, as a matter of fact, answers, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that doesn't sit well when you do that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, okay, I'll work on that. And I've been doing okay.
You've done good.
See, I can do good.
And me, I told him, I said, now, I'm going to shake my own bush because I became a better communicator.
Yeah, hers was communication.
Not the talker. For instance, I would answer the question with, 2 or 3 words. I'm not and I wouldn't start, like if we had a disagreement, I wouldn't bring it back up. I would let him bring it back up. I just kind of just let things be.
Yeah.
But I said, I've done well with starting conversation. I'm better at saying what I'm letting you know what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm proud of me that I've done better this year.
Yeah,
But I did ask, okay, have I done it? Is it better for you? But then I just turn it and answer my own question.
That was good. Because I used to be like, over communicate, talking, and she was like,
Yeah.
Ain't this about what?
Yeah.
What? Say something else. I did. I said yes. Isn't that what you asked me? I said yes, but give me more than just yes.
Yeah. But I'm learning.
I'm so glad y'all learning. Before I play this video, I want to tell you that, during my marriage process, I went to counseling, I went to therapy. And I remember one time I went to therapy and I was all in. I was ready to go. And then I made it to the workhouse upstairs at the radio station. And it seemed like everybody could smell that it was drama in paradise because everybody was wanting to talk to me. Like, I was like, ooh, y'all way friendly today. It's like they could smell blood on me just then. I was like, what's wrong with you? And so I went home, and this is what happened when I went home. Check this out real quick. So for me coming home after all that temptation, I just knew she was finna be off the chain. You hear me? I walk in, only to find her. What you doing sitting on the couch on the phone? She like, cause that's what I do. Typical sarcasm. I simply said, I told you I was coming home early. I wanted to see you. She like, okay, welcome home, babe. I hit her with the, babe, I thought you was gonna meet me at the door like this right here on one knee, ready to just do something. But you not. You just on the phone. Who you on the phone with? Why am I expected to have all that going on? That's not the environment you created for us. That's not what we do. I say, I text you and told you that I was coming home early. I'm trying to do what the counselor told me to do. To put you first. To let you know how important you are to me. I didn't come here for attitude. I came here for love. In the daytime specifically. She hit me with the, you can't expect me to skip, hop, and jump to the new program. You gotta work that in with her little attitude. The thing is, going to counseling was her idea. I didn't even want to see her homegirl. But at the end of the day, like, I did it for her. And I take one step towards what she wants me to do, and I'm still getting the same attitude. But I just keep doing whatever I'm supposed to do. Sometimes it feel like in this relationship, it's a prison sentence. And my black ass just can't get ahead. But the truth is, if she wasn't as fine as she was, she wouldn't even know my name right now. But I can't even imagine somebody embracing her, grabbing them hips. With somebody else, I'd be damned.
Why are we waiting for the sun to go down? We both want it, so let's get it started right now. Time's of the essence, and I don't want to waste mine. We should get together and make love in the daytime. I know you get tired of the same old same. Wait until the night come to do your thing. I've got a proposition for you ladies today. I wanna make love in the middle of the day. Say, wanna cry. You used to knocking boots, how about I knock you out your socks? Make you feel like a queen when we in between them sheets. And keep you energized like some Xantrax 3, baby. Why are we waiting for the sun to go down? it started right now. Time's of the essence, and I don't wanna waste mine. We should get together and make love in the daytime. 'Cause in the daytime, the sun can shine on
The name of the song is Love in the Daytime. Make sure that you go stream it soon. Now, whenever you listen to this, get it. So the
I
scenario,
just felt like I just
You
need
want
to
to do
do
this?
an R&B move. You know,
Tell-
the ultimate R&B move is like that.
that's all I needed. Is that what you do?
You gonna pull in,
you got to pull in when you do that R&B and grind it a little bit.
So that's the question though. After 36 years, what strategy do you have to keep the love in the relationship going?
We create. You have to be creative. You have to be
What
very,
is it?
You have to be very creative. The reason I said I want to become everything I need to be for my husband.
Yeah.
So we kind of came up with this thing, you know.
So you going to tell it.
Yeah, you want me to tell it? You don't want me to tell
He
it?
said, go on, tell it.
Tell it.
So, well,
Come
you know
on.
me, like you see me, my hair used to be short. I used the different color. You know, I switch it up for him, you know,
Yeah.
because I want to keep his eyes on me.
Hallelujah.
So, now I was like, babe, you want some breakfast? He was like, yeah, I want some breakfast. I was
Breakfast.
like, no.
Not that bacon
Not
and
that-
eggs.
not-
This
not
bacon
this.
and eggs.
Hey! Shondo!
So it's like,
And me and we so dumb. We
I
could
don't
be
mean, you're not dumb. It's just
we
you just,
dumb.
it's
You
not
let a
dumb.
lady be dressed up and ready to walk out of the door in
I'm-
full clothes
I'm
and
not.
ask her, say, you want to do something? No, I'm dressed. I don't want to get
I already
dirty.
took my
We could be in a
I already took my
three-piece
shower.
tuxedo suit
Yeah.
on our way to a funeral, and we will be late for the funeral.
And Will.
But it's okay. It's good. They'll wait.
So after 36 years, I venture to say it's probably like you got to try to keep the spice in your life.
do.
You
We
know,
do.
because like I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We can be going down a highway. Everything is for men to look at some woman. It could be a hamburger commercial. Like, why she got these skimpy clothes on for a hamburger commercial?
Right.
And then of course, social media gives you this false narrative. I noticed that on social media, y'all don't have separate Instagram. Why is that?
Because we do it all
We
together.
just do everything together.
And we've built it together. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's just, I think it just happened that way
Yeah.
because how we were introduced to the world, we've
Mhm.
just been doing it as a couple.
Mhm.
And not to say that he doesn't have his own world and own life and I don't have mine because we do.
Mhm.
And we have our own entities. But to me, I just feel like it just feels better. It feels better for me to be with him.
Let me
Like
tell you.
today, he said, I think it's just you today with Willie Moore. I was like, no.
I
It's
want you
us.
to come
Us
with
against
me.
the world.
Yeah. So I just,
Let me
I
tell you
feel-
this.
I-
We have the same phone code.
yeah. Go
Our,
ahead.
our code on our phone is the same.
Yeah.
Like, so at any given moment, she just walk up, beep, beep, beep. I'm like, here,
Yeah.
check my phone. Whatever. It don't matter. We have the same phone code.
Yeah.
Now I know guys are like, no.
I can do that now. I'm cool.
I don't have.
You can do
oh,
that
you
now?
wouldn't do it before?
No. Definitely wouldn't do that.
But
We do. We
Why
have
would
the
we
same.
do that?
But we-
I mean, you can know the code, but why would we do it?
We do. We
why
both.
not?
We both have the same exact phone
Why
code.
for? It's the question.
if you don't have anything to hide, why for? You don't have, you know, you good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You didn't then,
Yeah, hey,
but you're better now.
But see, now you know
You
moving
just
forward.
think, what is this?
I don't know.
I know.
mean, I just think
White
her world is her
left.
world. My world is my world. I don't want to know, and you shouldn't want to know. I think there has to be borders, boundaries, and all of that.
I think there has to be borders and boundaries.
But after 36 years, I guess.
36 years,
But
I ain't know.
I think you should come into it that it should be that. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you building
Yeah.
as you get older, but I made up in my mind, you know, divorce is not an option for us. We talked about that together.
Mhm.
Y'all have heard us. For those who've been following us, we've been saying it the whole time.
Mhm.
So I feel like if you're and we're started out as friends, he's my friend, he's my best friend, you tell each other everything. So there's no hidden agendas. There's nothing that I'm doing that you don't need to know about. I mean, I think you should know about everything I'm doing.
Hallelujah.
Good. You're-
I don't like your face.
No, hallelujah. Like,
And the
you can
thing
have my
is,
code now. You
I
can have my
love
code now.
why come?
Yeah, but I just
I'm gonna use that.
Like, why come?
Why come?
Yes, because my mom, you know, she's 82. She said, why come you did that? I'm from Louisiana.
Cause
But I do want to ask you this. So you guys, you do have the same phone code. You guys really have this strong level of trust. You took divorce off the table. Like, we can play at least 20 clips of you guys. We took divorce off the table.
Mhm.
The question becomes, have you ever seen couples where you were like, divorce was probably the best thing?
I think it's if there's abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, or something like that, I'll tell them, Forrest, run.
Yeah.
Because nobody should stay in something that's dangerous
But
to
I
them.
don't think I don't think we've ever just told somebody you need to get a divorce.
I mean, not that, but when they did it, have you ever just been like,
I mean,
ooh,
I seen that coming. It's about time.
You remember we was at
now to each other, yes, we said like, man, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
When we got together as friends, like, man,
that probably
yo,
should have
dog,
never
that ain't-
happened anyway.
that don't look good. That's not a good situation.
That's not a good situation.
So
yeah, but I think if somebody's in an abusive situation, we say we took divorce off the table.
Yeah.
But if somebody hitting you, I say
Yeah,
bye.
But even just dogging you, just dogging you. I
Yeah.
mean, even I'm talking about what words.
Yeah.
Were they just beating you down? It's like, I don't know. I don't think you should stay in nothing like that. Because especially if you have children, because it's getting bad for the house.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I left home at 16, because my stepfather was abusive with his words.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's like, it was killing me on my insides.
Mhm.
So, and to hear that my mom had to just stand there and just take this,
Mhm.
yeah, I was ready to fight. I mean, I was ready to I was like, I just can't live here no more, Mom.
But you
Yeah.
can't fight. You can't fight.
You don't
Tamala
know.
Man
You
can't
don't.
fight.
If I would have
Dear,
fought,
you
if I
cannot
had to
fight.
fight,
You can't
I
fight.
would have fought. The Lord would have been.
You can
he would've
sing. You
fought
can
with
sing,
me.
but you cannot fight.
You don't know what the Lord
The
was
little
gonna do
known
with
fact
me
about Tamala Man
and
is
through
she
me that
cannot
day.
fight. Have you ever had a fight? I rest my case. Go ahead. Answer that question.
So, Tamala, you're 16 years old, and you see your mother going through this abuse with your stepfather, and you say, I have to leave. Where does Tamala Man go?
I want to live with my sister. I lived with one of my older sisters. And at the time I was a junior in high school, and I thought it was it was cool, but I felt myself losing my way, like even just to finish high school. Like I started missing school because my sister was like, hey, you coming over here, but you on your own. You're going to come over here. You're going to be feeding yourself. I start working and, you're going to have to get yourself up. I ain't going to be waking you up for school. So it's like but I had to go back. Because I felt like I had to have some kind of guidance in order for me to even just complete high school. So I wanted
And tell them why that was so important. Because out of 14.
Out of all my siblings, I was the only one graduated from high school. And it's 14 of us.
14,
It was 13 of us that lived. Mama had 14, but it was 13 of us that lived. And I was the only one that graduated high school.
Indeed.
I was the youngest.
So you're the youngest of 14.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you grow up with your stepdad or your mom, kind of half and half?
Half and half, because he came in later on. Like I said, when she married him, I was like 16.
Okay.
So it's like it was just, but I had knew him for a long time because he went to the same church I went to.
So he church guy.
Yeah. He
So
was,
the church guy can be cussing at the same
he
time.
wasn't
He
cussing.
wasn't cussing.
He just tough.
You don't have to cuss to be abusive.
He was fussing.
He was fussing, nitpicking.
I mean, but like to the rumble. You know how you hear somebody fussing and their voices come through the wall?
Oh, yeah.
I used to wake up to that on Sunday morning. So it became very uncomfortable that I would tell my pastor, which was my uncle, which is my mom's brother, you shouldn't have him up before your people. This is what, as a kid, I was telling the adult.
Yeah.
I said, he's not right to be standing up before the people because the life he live at home ain't lining up with y'all teaching us up here.
So were there any ramifications or issues when you did that from him to you? Did he have an issue?
I had a little bit. He was like, well, if you're going to come back here, you got to do this. And it was different. But I just, to better myself, I yield to get where I needed to go.
Yeah.
So, and I did what I needed to do to just stay, to survive, I would say.
And I think that shaped some of
Me.
that she brought over to us. Is like, no man telling me nothing.
That was my next question. Like, so how did that? So you meet this guy he's an athlete. He didn't necessarily grow up with his dad, and he got a big personality. And I can only imagine when his chest is out and he doing his thing, and so now he has this boisterous like. So what connected here? Like, what part of him made you say, "Hey, man, this may be the guy that I'll spend the rest of my life with"?
Well, early on, David started protecting me, even us, because, we started singing together early. He was really protective of, like, because it was Kurt, Daryl, Blair, which, he sung with us with the family.
Okay.
So these three guys, and plus, but it's like whenever the guys would make jokes with me, like Kermit, it's like he would always be like, hey, y'all, she's still a woman. She's a girl. So y'all don't. And it's like he just kept doing just different things like that to really let me see like, oh, this dude just even care for me even as a friend. And as it kept going, it's like I really fell in love with him through our friendship.
But she didn't tell me.
No, I didn't want to tell him that. Yeah. Who gonna tell him that? You don't tell nobody that early.
You don't
tell nobody that early.
Not that early.
She didn't tell me though, because her sister told her don't ever tell a guy that
first. You don't tell a man first that you love him.
Which is dumb.
It is not dumb because people do take advantage and they run away. They take, they take your love as weakness or your kindness as weakness.
No, when she told me that, I was like, that's whack.
That was just my thought.
You could have just told
Brother
me.
David, that was my
I
thought.
love you, boy.
Like the movie.
I love you.
Brother David, that was my thoughts.
And your thoughts.
But I think it worked.
So Brother Dave, she had never been protected.
Right.
And then you come in. So most men think, like, I got to wine and dine her, do all that. And of course, that's really, really good. But you touched a part of her that wasn't necessarily ever covered. And you protected her. And here's the thing. And of course, I'm going to let you answer. I do remember you even still being a protector. One time, I think we were in Texas somewhere. And your voice, of course, amazing. But, you had been working so much. And he was like, you just got to. You gotta calm it down. Of course, you went right back out there and went to doing. And I was on the side with him. He was like, "Oh my God, she going up."
I told her you don't have to go in 5th gear this time. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
like you don't have to go 5th gear. She was in 3rd. That Holy Ghost hit her. She was in 6th. I was and Dave was like this. God, dog, I can't.
But
for me,
so you become a protector.
I'm a natural protector. With my mom. Yeah, I seen my mom in some abusive situations, and I'm just a natural protector. That's what I've done all these years. So, it's not like I deliberately set out to protect her. It was just like, if I see a woman in trouble, it just, I've gotten myself in trouble by trying to protect somebody. It just comes natural. We're in California at a restaurant one day.
No, yes, that's right.
At a restaurant, and I see this guy tearing this lady up. So I'm like, man, I can't let this man just beat this woman up like this. Because I think about my daughters, I think about my mom, I think about her. Like, would somebody just sit and watch my mom, a daughter, a wife just get beat up? So I'm like, I'm at the table and like, I gotta go do something, y'all. So. I go outside and I'm like, hey, leave that woman alone. You're not finna put your hands on your woman. And the woman turned around. Yeah. It was a guy.
Oh, no.
I just turned on around and said,
but you did, he did, but you
I
have
just
to
got him as separated.
He helped her to get away from the guy, because by us talking to him, held him up for her to go.
I say, ma'am, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. So I went on back and ate my food. That's probably gonna get me canceled. But go ahead.
Well, I did my best to hold my chuckle. I tell you, I did. So you
go ahead with your show.
No, so I wasn't expecting that. So here go the thing. That was pretty good.
Good luck in trying to pull this back
But
together.
you was helpful though.
The point was, I just thought I was protected.
You was protected.
Well, that went bad.
So you always been a protector. Tam grows up in this type of relationship at home, and you guys meet during this time. When I talked to you last time, I remember you talked about you sitting at the house, and then you get this knock on the door, and there's somebody with a baby, and you pretend like when she come in, like, you know what these people gonna tell me?
Yeah, you try.
They trying to say I got a baby. Let's go see. Came over there. That baby face looked just like that man.
To this day, she FaceTimed me last night, and I said, why do you have my face on?
Like,
give it back.
She like copy paste.
Yes, she looks just like me, and you don't try to pretend. When you try to act mad, that's kind of the go-to emotion, so you can try to throw everything off. They just tripping, and this is where I think it shaped our relationship.
So this is a pivotal moment. Like this make or break.
This was the moment.
Because I was like,
what was your thoughts?
Because our family we're already blended, guys. Because when I met him, he was having his first child.
Mm-hmm.
And by us being friends, I went with him. We were singing together. The girl was going into labor. He was like, you ain't got to go to work tomorrow. Why don't you just go with me? So I went and sit the whole 21 hours at the hospital, when our firstborn was born.
Yeah.
So after that, so when that knock came at the door, I was like, hey, I done been through this once. I ain't going through this no more.
And I felt
I was some kind of way then. I was like, no. I was like, I
was devastated.
I said, I love you. I'll be praying for you. God bless you. But I said, I ain't doing that. And he was like, how you just going? And then how he sit and explain to me.
Well, first, let me tell you, one of my biggest fears in life is losing my family.
Mine too.
Like losing all of that. And it was like, when she said that, to me, that was like losing it all. Like, wait a minute, does this mean you're not going to be a part of this anymore? She said, I'm good.
And this is how Us Against the World came. He was like, look, it's them and then it's us. And he did the Spock thing where he separated his fingers like it's you,
and it's
us, and then it's them. He said, I know we have kids, but he said,
everything comes a distant second to us.
He said, I'm not gonna leave you or forsake you or change because this is happening. And he really explained himself to me, and it really changed my heart. It's like I heard his heart, and it changed my heart to look at it, okay, that we're in this together. And he said, it's us against the world. And this is something that we've been saying from early on.
From jump.
Yeah. So now do you blend the families? Like, how do as a wife who now has this new child that comes in, I grew up with older parents. Sometimes, we've heard stories. I never seen it in my day, but they're like, that boy there, that's Geraldine. That's by Geraldine.
Yeah.
And they dropped that baby off about 6 years old, and mama raised them.
Right.
So what was their relationship like? Like, were you able to build a relationship with that baby?
I think I was, but it actually became better once she got older. But I always showed her love. I never showed difference. I would always, if I felt like what she came with,
there was a need.
I took care of the need to make sure that she looked and felt the part of everybody. So as time progressed and we grew and she got older, and our relationship actually got better after she kind of got out of school. I got like 16, 17, where we can kind of really
have those
talk.
Uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, like, let me tell you.
Because in the beginning, like even with the mom and I, it was rocky. It was difficult. I mean, I remember going into child support office, and I've never been a cursor. I just never been a cursor, even as a teenager.
Pray for me.
But I could use my words really good. And I said I think it was really painful to say. And then I think about it, to tell somebody this is really like, that wasn't cool. She was saying something to me, and I was so angry with her. I looked at her right in her face and I say, you are a sin that constantly haunts me. And the lady in the office was like, ooh, that was just chilling. You should have probably just said something. But, to tell somebody that, I was like, wow, that was chilling to tell somebody they're a haunting sin. Yeah. Like, well, that's the way I felt at the time.
You gonna say it too. That one just made my chest hurt.
But I mean, it's better. I can communicate with both the moms. We're not in a bad place. Yeah. So it was good. I felt like I've done and did the best that I could with the girls to the degree of giving all. I tried to give all of me. To it's like me as a kid having a step parent. I know what that felt like. So I never wanted them to feel like they were not a part.
That's right.
And to, feel like to me, say step, it's like I'm stepping on you. Like, and I don't want nobody to feel like I'm just stepping and crushing you all the time. So I just try my best to be, I say, you can call me mom if you want. If you don't, it's fine. But I'm just going to represent as a mom.
So do me a favor real quick. Can you just can you subscribe to the channel and do me a favor? Can you just put something in the comments right now? I think it's a really good pause. If you have ever been, you were in a blended family and you had a great relationship with your other parents, put a number 1 in the chat. And if it was unique, notice I don't say bad because we either living and learning, we ain't never losing, okay? So put a number 2 because I want to kind of do this little thing. I think I'm going to develop a show about that and really talk about blended family. So let me know. You kind of my, you know, you're my processing team, all right? 1 and 2.
And that's something that's not talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Blending families
Yeah.
is very difficult.
Yeah.
It can be difficult.
And
It can be difficult if you have two people that aren't willing to co-parent.
Yeah.
And so, but when you think about blending a family and having kids, you bring a lot of people into it.
Yes.
And when you think about the math, I was showing her this
Yes.
the other day. I said, you think about it. Okay, you have 2 parents, right?
Mhm.
And so you have a kid. So now they split. And then now this other parent goes, now they have a spouse, and that spouse has a kid. This other side. And before you know it, you have 10 people. You got 2 sets of grandmothers, 2 grandparents, and the math is so big. And so you got one child trying to maneuver through all of these personalities and all this house does this. And, you know, we discipline this way. And my mom don't tell me that. This house, we do this. You know,
Right.
you know, it could be a difficult situation. But if you have 2 people who are willing to co-parent and just be civil,
Yeah.
that's a simple word. But
it
when
can work.
you got people that are being uncivilized,
That's so tough. So I remember 2002, you know, I was adopted. I had never met anybody in my blood family ever.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I'm pretty willing it up at the time. So it was this young lady. We were we were best friends. And, you know, one thing led to another. We ended up having a child. And so once I had this child, I knew I wasn't necessarily going to be with her long term. I tried my best just because I really wanted to be in the home with my child. And when I made that decision, I did something really, really unique. And I wasn't even like I wasn't today's version of Willie, but I wrote down, I just wrote a story, like what I would want the family to be like. I was like, you know, I know she's going to meet somebody, but God, please let him love you first. You know, let him not be this, and this, because I knew what type of attitude that I had towards life. And literally 2 guys came in that I didn't necessarily like. I was like, that ain't really what I wrote. So, you know, I'm like, God, hey, man, you ain't see my paper. You said write the vision. I ain't know but like 6 strong scriptures at that particular time. And I wrote that, and then the dude left and another guy, and then we met Michael. And Michael, he was a tough guy. He went to the military, but he was a pastor. And like I was lobbying for Michael. Like if Mike, I was like, you and Mike still, y'all good? She's like, oh, well, I'm like, let me get his number. I need to call Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, man, I know how it is, man. Yeah. She don't really mean all that stuff she said. And so they ended up getting married. And, you know, and I will say, like, we've only had 2 spats in the 21-year time. Even when I go to Memphis, I get a chance to stay with them. Like I stay in their house. He won't let me get a hotel. And it's like the Lord really put his hands on it. So to those of you who dealing with blended families, one of my strategies, hell, I wrote it down. I was like I do business strategies and love you more stuff. Like I really wrote that thing down. And I love Pastor Mike. He's a pastor now too. Mike Joy. Everybody, that's like my best friend in the world. I got to keep her calm though, because she be wanting to protect me at all costs. Who messing with you? I'm like, friend, we good, you know. And it's just a beautiful thing. I want to kind of move into this section though, because it was a time when I sat down with Dave last time, and he talked about mental health, and I seen that that was a almost like a breaking point, and I kind of ran away from it because at that time I was going through some mental things myself, and to hear him talk about it. But he said how much you supported him. As a wife, were there some signs that you seen, or did you see any signs that made you kind of put your antennas up, like he's going through something?
Well, I would ask, I'm like, you good? And I said, how are you? And he would always say, I'm good. Mm-hmm. So he kept giving me that. It's like, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would ask the question. I was going through the motions, but I really didn't see it. Mm-hmm. And that's what crushed me, is that I didn't see it. Mm-hmm. Because everything that I experienced, y'all, seriously, to y'all out there, David notices everything about me. And that's one of the things that me working on and being more attentive is the thing. He's like, I just need you to be more attentive to me. And I was like, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. But I cried because I could have lost the love of my life. And it's like, I would have been so lost. I would have been like a triple hurt, if I can say it that way. And I've never said it out loud because I didn't understand, like, why would you do this or hurt yourself? And to me, it's like, because we always say, why would you, like he just said, being afraid, why would you leave? Because it's like, I would feel like he would have left me. He would left me in this world by myself, you know, because he has protected me for so long and just shielded me that y'all would probably be on some Valiums or something, you know.
Like some other people.
Yes, but I just, but I didn't see Willie. David knows that and I tell him, I said, I'm so sorry that I could cry right now because I didn't see. But it hurts me even more because I was asking you and asking him, and he was like, I'm okay.
Bring out the tissue.
I'm good. And he really wasn't good. And I just want us all to, in some kind of way, to let people know if you're really not good, you have to say that you're not good.
Right.
Because it's like we don't want, because I notice in our community that it's happening more than I ever known it to happen in my lifetime.
Me too.
And I say publicly that I'm really sorry that I didn't see you. And it's like that I didn't hear the cry. Because it's like we go through our motions of taking care of life and taking care of so many people. And David was just so concerned, especially after coming out of COVID. That's really when it all went down. He was trying to figure out things for all of my kids, his brothers, all the people that work for us. It's like he fixed it where nobody ever, he paid them through the whole pandemic.
Wow.
He didn't lay nobody off. We were just coming in like things was just regular, and they wasn't regular, but he was holding all of these things in. And it's just like, we have to learn as a people to be there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And to really just hear it. I think too, sometimes, you know, it's like, again, we have to tell each other, but if I could just be more attentive, if we could all just be more attentive to those that we're around and those that we love and those that even we work with. Mm-hmm. Because it's even people that are dealing with things like this on the job, and everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
You know, they may not be in a relationship, but they need somebody. But I didn't see it, to answer the question. And that's the most painful part for me, that I didn't.
Yeah. How do we not, because it's your thing to protect. That's just who you are. You even protect me one time. I was on the Stellar Awards, people was talking crazy, and they just told me, you know, Dave said, no, he's solid. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, you know, they be messing with you because of your hat and all that stuff. And David said, you're solid. What steps are you now taking to say, hey, man, I want to make sure that I'm not carrying so much of a load when that's all you've been all your life?
In her defense, I was great at masking it. It was Tiffany, my daughter, the me face daughter, that told me, yeah, you've masked it well, and that's over. Now we all know, and now we'll all help you heal. Mm-hmm. And so I was just so good at carrying the weight and to look, I'm good. Because I've juggled so many things for so long as Superman to where it was hard for them to know. It was business as usual. Like I told you before, some people drink, some people smoke, some people sex it away. I worked it away. Let's just work. Everybody stay on the grind. Okay, you go here. And then it got to the point to where it was a breaking point. And where I actually found peace was telling them.
Telling somebody.
To just like, okay, I'm exposed. Mm-hmm. And it made me feel, you know, as men, we feel like so vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel too vulnerable. This feels, you know.
Like you weak.
Yeah.
But that's not so.
I felt it gave me strength by telling her, because I know if anybody in this world is going to help me fight through it. I mean, I tell you, one night she woke up after I told her. She woke me up in the middle of the night by 2, and I'm like, what's going on here? She just prayed, and she prayed. She prayed, and she was praying. She prayed till I fell asleep, and I woke up, and she was still praying. I think I got it. I got it now. But that's it, you know, that's when I felt like I got better. So now I you know, like she'll do a check-in, and I'm like, are you feeling good today? No. I told her last week, I woke up. Yeah. I feel something that happened, it got me today.
Yeah, so I started asking questions.
That's what I was going to ask. So how do you do it? And I'm not asking for somebody on the other side of the camera, because I'm no longer drinking it away. I'm no longer smoking it away. I find myself working it away. And I'm dropping balls like crazy because I know there's something on the inside of me that's saying, rest, relax. You don't have to outrun the pace of this grace. So how do you tell your mate, like I like where you were going with it, like, hey, I feel some type of way today. Is it the small things or do you wait until it piles up?
And
It's
I went into it like that, asking, I said, okay, the Lord is really helping me. Cause I'm like, especially with my words, okay, let's break this down. Okay, so what exactly happened or what was said for that to make you have that reaction? And it's like I just start just asking him a bunch of questions. So it could not just ease him, but ease me on how I can help deal with it. Because it's like, if we're in this together, I want to know so I can know what I need to do. Besides praying, I need to know what the feet and the hands can be doing. Yeah. To help, walk him through this thing. So that's how I kind of jumped on it after he said that.
And she just, literally, it was just, when I tell her, I'm just learning to be honest with myself.
Yeah, that's me. I had to be honest.
Just be honest. Just be straight. I'm not good. Like there's some days now that I'm not good. I am not good. Yeah. And it's like, dear, and I just have this situation. I don't know. I just feel some kind of way. What do I need to do? Okay, shut everything off. No phones, no this, no that. Let's shut everything off. Let's figure this out. And that's what's helping me get through. Because before it would be like, I'm good. And I know good and well I wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm not good.
I wasn't. And I, like I explained to you before, I explained it like me drowning. And the people around me, knew, but they didn't know I was drowning, but I could see them and they walk by. You okay? I'm good. No, I don't do it that way anymore. I definitely knowing that I have her here to help walk me through this.
Man. So just real quick, just put it in the chat, especially my men here. It's so funny that the numbers for men are going up tremendously. So fellas, I know it's sometimes hard for me to, get you to get in those comments. But fellas, if you feel like, man, that one really hit me, just put a number 2 in the chat and maybe give a brief synopsis of kind of what you learned from that moment. I want to go into this music real quick as we kind of land the plane. If you hit that Take Me to the King, my mama gonna listen. Let me tell you something. She don't even get up out of her seat like that, but mama gonna get up out of her seat. If you hit what's that other? If you hit any of them Kirk Franklin ones that you did, you was singing on the reunion tour. Shout out to you. You was on key and you sounded amazing. Let me just say that. I went in LA. I snuck in there in LA.
Oh, cool.
I stuck in there in LA. I said he doing comedy and singing, so that was good. How much of what you go through in life is taken to that stage and that being your release?
Wow.
Like, where do you pull from? Because you can sing the ABCs and the Holy Ghost will fall. And I'm not even trying to be fun. Like, there come Tam. Go get your stuff. Get your stuff. Y'all better get it together. Take your eyelashes off.
I really don't. When I go, it's like actually before I go out, my prayer is, Lord, go before me.
Yeah.
To help me reach and, to touch somebody, because it's like I just try to lay it all at the altar before I go out.
Yeah.
And that's really like, if you see me standing on the side and I'm like stretching and have my head down, I'm really, because I just feel like there's somebody that needs to be reached or blessed. It's like, let me say some type of nugget, even if it's through a song or a word that can help somebody through. Because I feel like this is what the Lord has given me and has charged me to do. And I don't know. When I go out there though, I just leave it all out there.
I think I think what people are really going to be with this new music, the new album that we'll be releasing. All of that comes from what we've dealt with in the last year.
Yeah.
She pulled the writers together. I look up, she got a whole team for 1 week. So you flew them all down here for 1 week? Are we doing hotels and flights? For what? For 1 week?
Don't do that, Joe.
But she flew them all, and all of the songs came from her.
From the things that, especially the 23 was hard. 23 was really hard for us.
Me too.
But I'm talking about living, breathing, and fighting in this album. And the new release is working for me because I just believe that if it wasn't for the Lord working in our behalf, we wouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. He may not be sitting right here. Mm-hmm. So, and I may not be sitting here. So those things, that situation, like you were just saying, he's working it. All these things are turning around, and I just trust God to be used as a vessel to come tell you that he's working for you and things are going to work out.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at life as a blind man. I can't see it, but I believe it. I believe those things are going to work out. You got to believe it before you see it.
Mhm.
You got to see it before you see it.
So with this new song working for me, different sound, up tempo a bit, but the message is strong. Where were you when you got with the writers there? Like, what were you thinking about when you guys put that pen to pad?
I was home, but I had like months in advance started just taking notes
Mhm.
and just saying, asking Lord, what do we need to say to the people? And I really just if I could say this, I was Taylor Swifting it, like really just talking about
Your life.
my life.
Yeah,
You know,
Taylor
it's
Taylor.
like I'm really, for the first time, really, really talking about stuff that I'm dealing with
Yeah.
and that I'm trusting that you're going to work these things out for me. And, and it's like been hard.
Yeah.
It's been rough, but I just believe through it all that, that I'm going to live.
Mhm.
I'm going to live. I'm fighting. I'm going to carry on.
Mhm.
And I'm going to
These
face
are all titles of the songs, by the way.
And it
All
sound
of
like
them.
I'm ready to get in this
one of
album.
them is entitled Big Facts. That when you look in the mirror, you're going to face the facts about you. It's a fun
like
song,
that.
but it's big facts. A lot of times we want to look at everybody else, but we don't want to look at us before we make the
It's
changes.
easy to look at other people.
So, but I was just in a place of I think hurt. I was really in a big place of hurt. And like, I never thought I would be in that place.
Mm.
So, it just came with like, okay, it can't always be like this, that
Right.
it's gonna work out. It's gonna
Yeah.
work out. Lord, I trust you. Don't see it, but I believe it.
Why do people think because we do gospel music or we preach the gospel, like when you hear somebody say, man, I was going through it,
Oh, that we don't supposed to.
they just be like, man,
Yeah.
I ain't never think nothing be wrong with y'all. They got your money right. Y'all
Yeah.
love each other, this, that, and other.
Oh, we get that all the time.
It's like,
That's what made me not want to say anything about going
yeah,
through
so
depression.
now I'm starting to see like that's
Yeah,
probably
that's
why
what
you
made me,
set
because
borders up. You got it all together.
Somebody literally told me, man, you David Mann. You married to a wonderful woman. You got a nice career, and you good. What you got to be depressed about? And I was like, that's literally why I
'Cause he-
didn't say nothing.
Because he was trying to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him, you're not God.
Mhm.
You're not God. It's not for
And
you.
I had to tell myself that.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's like things would happen, even with our children. He would, instead of letting them go to God, he's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Fixer.
It's
Protector.
like,
Yeah.
but that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I am who I am.
That we're not the fixers, and I'm trusting him to work it out.
Man, last time you was here, Dave, I was gonna do it. I just didn't know what it was. And I'm gonna get with and you don't need it. You don't need this at all. It ain't gonna do nothing. But I'm just let you know as your brother and your friend. I remember you telling me that you wanted a bike from your dad. And he
Mhm.
never got that bike. And so I've been looking tirelessly for this bike. And I think I got one that'll match. I just need your address. You ain't got to ride it because I don't want you to hurt yourself.
I'll ride.
But
And
as a brother, I got this bike that I gotta send you, so I gotta get your address. It never left my heart. I was like, you know what? What do you get a man who can get anything? And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get him that bike. That's what we gonna do.
that is cool.
And because I know it's some weirdo stuff, but I was like,
No,
man, I gotta
that's
give
the
my
things
brother
that
thing.
as men,
Yeah.
it feels weird because
Yeah.
it wouldn't feel weird if you told her you would do it for her.
Yeah.
But for another brother, it's
Yeah.
like it feels weird because it's a man.
Yeah.
But you don't know what small things like that will
Yeah.
do for somebody's day.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm gonna send my brother there. I was gonna surprise you here. I said, no, he can't drive back with it.
No,
He can't drive back with it.
no.
But I can send it over there to Mansfield.
That's not our town, by the way. It's where we live.
That's what they said. The Lord had it ready made for the
us,
man.
for the
Yeah.
man.
So honestly, man, I'm so thankful that you guys came. Of course, we're gonna do. We'll do another. We'll do some radio drops after this. But I just want to talk to the camera real quick. Honestly, you never know what people are going through. The one thing I understand about people who are part of the kingdom of God is that many times we've got so used to culture and knowing that God is going to fix it because we know that there's a suggested end, because all things work together for the good for those who are called, for those who love the Lord and called according to his purpose. Like, we know that it's gonna happen, but sometimes we do not get the steps on the in-between, right? Because, you know, we win some, we learn some, we never lose, but the steps are in between of how you get there. That's what we call testimony, right? And so what I believe now is that because social media has become so treacherous that if you do something wrong or you feel a certain way, it can go viral in a moment. It's causing people of God to shrink the testimony. But the Bible declares this, that people will be overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of
testimony.
Your testimony. So the biggest strategy of the enemy is to get you to shut up about what you're going through.
Right.
And so if he can get you to shut up about what you're going through, feel ashamed about what you're going through, not feeling so strong about what you're going through, not being able to communicate effectively, he wins. He's no longer under your feet. He's not in your mind. He's not in your heart. He's now all through your system because you're walking around in fear. And when you walk around in fear, you leave yourself open for all type of sin. So whether that's drinking, whether it's smoking, whether it's sexing, whatever it is, like, you just open yourself up. So my challenge to you today is that I want you to start looking at what you've been through and seeing how God wants to use it. What you're seeing today is a man and woman who decided today that, you know what, this is a transparent time that I'm gonna share certain things to you in hopes that it could help you. Not to pat themselves on the back because they call hell going through it, but on the other side of this, I believe that it was something that you could deem meaningful. So what am I telling you today? No matter what you have done, no matter what you're going through, speak, get help, talk to people about it. Sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to talk about it because the wound's still open. Baby, guess what? You're a lot further down the road than most people. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to heal. I gained more healing in this chair, walking through the divorce process, walking through all of the anguish that I had to go. I've learned so much and I've healed so much in my transparency that I don't even know if I could be this version without the communication that I've chosen to do through this camera, right? So I'm not telling you to run out there and give all your business. Consult Holy Spirit on how he wants to guide you. But what I am telling you is don't get stopped up. Don't get put up and pushed in a wall by the enemy who tells you that when they know they not gonna care about you like that no more. They not gonna, that nobody cares. But like, when you start hearing those small voices, you gotta open up your mouth and declare that you are the head and not the tail, that you are above and not beneath, that you're the lender and not the borrower, that your best days are ahead of you, that you can win on purpose. You gotta speak those things that are not as though they were until you can walk in. And here's the thing, I believe in you. I believe you have a purpose. I believe that there's great things on the inside of you. And you say, Willie Moore Jr., I don't believe it. Well, baby, sometimes you got to believe what I see in you until you can see it for yourself. Don't forget to love you more. All right. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I love you to life. And it's another announcement coming. So don't click off just yet, because I want you to be a part of this community so we can add more value to you. All right. Flat out.
Love you more. Love you more.